Hello, I'm Charlotte. Welcome to my channel. So I am just going to talk today a little bit about how I got accepted to nursing school, and that is what my channel is about, is my entire journey through nursing school from acceptance to graduation. Haven't graduated yet. If you're interested in getting more content about my journey through nursing school and how that might help you with your journey through nursing school, please subscribe. And if you find this video useful, please give it a thumbs up down below. A little bit of background. Obviously, I got accepted to nursing school because I'm currently in nursing school. I'm in my first semester, so I'm taking fundamentals, pharmacology, gerontology, and then my fundamental clinicals. I am in an ADN program at a community college in Colorado. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what brought me to applying to this program, my educational background, and then how I got accepted. So basically, I went to college straight out of high school for chemistry, and I got a 4-year degree in chemistry, and my whole plan was to go to medical school. And so that was the plan. I realized in my junior year of college that medical school was not the right path for me. It was not what I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life. Then I decided I was too far into the chemistry major. I'll just do that and I'll find a job in chemistry. And so I ended up getting a job out here in Colorado out of college and was working in a lab for 2 years. I absolutely hated it. And so I was like, I like working with people. I don't want to be doing this monotonous stuff. I want my day to be changing every day. And so I ended up applying for a sales position at that same company, went into sales and realized I like working with people, but I like when they actually would like to speak with me. And in sales, they kind of are just there to get the free donuts that you're giving out. Did that for 1.5 years, and it was only about half a year after I got that job that I realized I wanted to go the nursing school route. And so I started that job in May of 2019, and then in January of 2020 is when I started my prerequisite. To get into the program, I had to take general biology, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, microbiology, and then human growth and development. So those are the classes I took, and then I also needed to take English composition 1 and nutrition. So those were the classes that I could take during nursing school, or I could get them done ahead of time. First spring semester 2020, I took anatomy and physiology 1, and I took human growth and development. And then the summer I took anatomy and physiology 2 and also microbiology. Then in the fall I took the nutrition and English composition. I decided to go for the ADN program because basically it's the only nursing program available where I wouldn't have to move or commute more than 50 miles. So I live in a small mountain town in Colorado, and so the ADN was the only one. And I looked into doing an accelerated BA to BSN program, and they were just so expensive, as well as needing to move away for a year because I'm engaged. We've just bought this house. Uprooting my life for a while, it just seemed like the expense versus this program's 18 months. So it just started in January 2021, and I'm going to be graduating in May of 2022. That's just what fit best for me. I'm planning on going on, my school also has an RN to BSN program, so I'm planning on doing that once I finish my ADN. My application process for my school was pretty straightforward. They used an objective point-based system, so I had to have those prerequisites, and they did the points based on the GPA I got in those prerequisites. I got a point for every prerequisite course that was completed by the time I applied. I then had to take the TEAS exam, which is an ATI entrance exam. I had to take a CASPer test, which is like a judgmental, I think they call it like a mini interview type online assessment. And then I also got points for being in district for my school. I could have gotten points for being an alternative status. So if I applied last year and I didn't get accepted, but I got alternative status, I would have gotten points. I didn't get points for that. Then also experience in the healthcare industry. So that was quite a lot of points. So if you had quite a few years in the working in the healthcare industry. So I have no previous healthcare industry experience, and so I didn't get any points for that. I did get points for having a bachelor's degree. So things that I didn't get points for, but you just had to satisfy the requirement in order to get accepted, was you had to have a college GPA of a 2.4. I have no idea what my college GPA was, but I knew it was above a 2.4, so I was good there. And then also you had to have college level reading / English and college level math. So I took calculus in my undergraduate degree, so I didn't have to worry about the math requirement. And then I also, I believe because of the amount of college level classes I've taken, I had taken a creative writing class and things like that. I didn't have to worry about taking any placement exams for the English and reading requirements. So basically the areas that like I had a lot of control over in terms of what I could do to make sure I got the highest points is that GPA for my prerequisite classes. My admissions counselor told me that I really need to get all A's in my prerequisite classes and have a 4.0 GPA for those classes. So I had a B in general biology, so I couldn't do anything about that because I didn't want to retake that course. But I did get all A's in all my prerequisite courses. So I think I ended up overall with a GPA of like a 3.9 as my nursing GPA, so I got most of the points there. He said that then like the CASPer and the TEAS you can't really study for, but I definitely studied for the TEAS exam and I took it twice. So the first time I took it, I can't remember what score I got. I think I got an 84%. I studied really hard and I might make another video about how I studied for the TEAS because I actually ended up getting an advanced score in the TEAS the second time I took it. So I got an 89.4%. Which put me in the 98th percentile. So I scored higher than 98% of the people that took that exam. So I was really pleased with those marks for that. And then the CASPer exam, I have no idea how well I did. So the thing with the CASPer exam is you do not find out your results and like the school won't tell me. So even if I called them, I couldn't get my results for that. So I think I did well. I did purchase a book that I read through and I watched quite a lot of videos online about what they're looking for in the CASPer, and basically it's a judgment test. So they may give you a scenario and they just want to make sure that you're not jumping to conclusions. So in the responses, it was more like if I thought this was happening, I would do this, and if this was happening, so I might just show that I'm considering all the options and that like I'm not jumping to conclusions and saying that like this is definitely what happened based on what I saw, because obviously you don't jump to conclusions, and that's apparently what they're looking for. But again, I have no idea. I think I did well on it because it turns out I know a ton of people that also had 4.0s, also did really well on the TEAS and didn't get accepted. So and they said that the school told them it was because of their CASPer score not being high enough. So it was really competitive the year that I applied. I've heard them say anywhere from like 100 to 200 people applied and they only accepted 15 students. And so I was one of the people that got accepted. So I think the CASPer test really made a difference when it came to being accepted. So I definitely recommend buying that book, reading it, and watching everything that you can. So then I had to mail in my application. I had to give a 1-page chronological resume. That would be so that they could see if I had any of, like, I already have my bachelor's degree, so that was on there. Any prior relevant work experience would be listed on there. I also had to submit a copy of my American Heart Association Basic Life-Saving BLS CPR certification. So I did that in July of 2020. So I had to submit a copy of that. I had to submit, there's so much paperwork. Like there's a ton of things like they wanted me to check off saying that I didn't have a criminal background, waivers. Like I printed absolutely everything that they were asking for because I just wanted to make sure it was all included in my application packet. And I had to mail it off, which was really nerve-wracking. I did registered mail so I could get confirmation that it got delivered. And then the school just didn't send me anything. Like I didn't get any notification that like, hey, we received your application and it's being considered. And I was terrified that like they would send out acceptances and they would give away all the places. And then I would call and be like, hey, I didn't heard anything. And they'd be like, oh, we never got your application. So that was super nerve-wracking. And I was trying to get hold of someone at the school that could like confirm that my application had been received. And no one confirmed until the day that I got my acceptance. Like a girl emailed back and was like, hey, yeah, we got your application. And then like 2 hours later, I got my acceptance letter. And so yeah, I got my acceptance letter in email format and I was so ecstatic. I was pretty overconfident about being accepted to the program. And now after hearing the amount of people that didn't get accepted, I realized that that was like a huge mistake. And so I'm just so grateful that I got accepted because I had already told my employer that I was applying to the program and that I was planning on leaving in January if I got accepted. So my employer already pretty much knew that I was like pieced out and like checked out of that job. So I would have had to wait another full year for the next program start. So I'm just like so grateful that I got accepted. So I got that acceptance November 6th. And then the orientation for the program was December 5th, I believe. It was sometime in the beginning of December. And that was when we found out, not honestly like as much information as I would have hoped, but we got like a better grasp of what the program was and what our expectations were. I still don't know if I really have a grasp on the program, what my expectations are, but I'm getting good grades, so I'm gonna just stick with what I'm doing. But yeah, that's kind of my whole process of like how I got accepted into nursing school, my stats, how I did. If anyone has any questions about that process or what school I go to, please feel free to comment below and I would love to respond to you. So thank you so much for watching my video and I'll see you again next week. Bye.